Once more into the breach, dear friends. Once more. Title decided for drivers, for manufacturers, and in fairness, it's now down to the privateers at the back for anything championship related. But in terms of the race and the reverse grid, race winner Jarno Capelli is on pole, and race winner Henri Bianchi is 10th. Those positions have swapped, as have those in between. So Stefan Percy's last hurrah from the front as well. You'll see that there are 19 cars on the grid. One solitary Vodafone Peugeot RCZ for Erkut Gavan. Kind of self-evident as to why, for those that have been following since the start of the season. We'll just leave it at that for the time being. And alongside me, Michael Swinnerton once more. It's been a very good season, that all things considered.
Oh, absolutely. For an inaugural season to have this many works entrants to begin with already showed its potential, especially with the extra rule changes of allowing for three-door coupes in this championship. It's really shown what it can do, and I fully look forward to a season 2, even if we're not covering it.
As far as TV is concerned, but your team is definitely in there, as is an extra manufacturer input in Mazda, switching allegiances from the Worlds. We've kind of covered that as well. I think, would it be fair to say we should declare what we're going to be doing for secondary coverage alongside Season 4 of the World Championship?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've made noises about it before of a regional Japanese Super Touring Championship that's formed that will allow for four-wheel drive models. That has had almost all the major Japanese manufacturers jump on that because a lot of their sporty models are four-wheel drive. So we'll be looking forward to going over to Japan and racing on all the fun tracks out there and seeing a very different grid of cars and some familiar faces just to keep it all tied together.
Yeah, Gordon Butcher from the Worlds, Kazuki Ide, and dare we say it, Ingram is thinking about it.
Ingram signed a deal with a privateer team.
So it is confirmed then.
Oh
Apologies.
yes. Uh, so he is at the very least going to run in the Japanese series. We've still got a couple of things to work out in the worlds, but there's basically a done deal there. But that's as much as I'm allowed to say about that for now.
That'll be same day coverage as well. We'll be up early for it, so you don't have to. You'll be able to watch it later on this channel. But right now, let's see what we can do for one last shout around the Grand Prix venue at Brands Hatch. Capelli starting on pole, but the rear-wheel drive advantage clearly in play as Maro Heidfeld. No impact at all. Harsh to say, I know, but he's already into the lead, and Kubica following suit, but still looking at fourth into third place at Druids. And Capelli back down the inside, but Kubica's outside momentum onto the grass crate, but still up to third.
Well, there's no kill like overkill for BMW, apparently. They've already won both titles, and yet here they are going from third to first on the grid, and Kubica moving up 8 billion places as well.
This is how they celebrate, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Steve Percy is in a sandwich he does not want to see right now.
But fingers crossed, his last European race puts him ahead of Heidfeld, but the momentum may not be there. Barbosa's momentum, however, through Hailwood. Is he going to get in front by Sheen?
Too wide through here is very dangerous. We've seen so many cars before run wide at Sheen and cause a big accident there. Capelli got very lucky. He was millimetres away from putting a rear wheel on the grass, which would have spelt disaster.
Kubica's closing in on Percy for second. Radicic 10th. Ford privateer deal in the bag for season 2. Vettel looking pretty good as well. And Eddie Carroll, a rare last place in a European race.
Yeah, Carroll and that team have been chasing their tail a little bit recently over the last couple of rounds. They've not quite got the setup right on the car. They'll definitely be looking to have a fresh, full reset on the car and go again for season 2 with a bit more vim and a bit more vigor.
We'll see what the first flying fastest lap would look like, but we know who's flying right now, and that's Kubica. Percy's privateer Ford just does not have, I mean, enough grunt, but still enough to stay ahead through Pilgrim's Drop, Hawthorne Rise, Haywood Hill.
Yeah, Percy doing a very good job of defending from the series champion. Though I have a horrible feeling it's going to be a when, not an if, we see that BMW overtake.
Heidfeld kicking up Dust Sterling. Capelli down to 4th, as we know. Barbosa still close, but not enough. The other Peugeot, however, has significantly fizzled out outside of the top 10. Can't see even see it in shot there. We see Ingram. Oh, there we are. Just ahead of Bianchi, who has also fallen back. A trend we've seen too often in the Worlds and the Euros. Whoever wins race 1 tends to have an awful time at the start of race 2, no matter what drive they're in. Here's Radicic in P9. So the momentum since the Nürburgring. You could, in fairness, say the same about Deep Forest. He's been on a better charge in the last few weekends.
Yeah, despite as you said, despite the blip at Deep Forest, Radicic has definitely made something of everything he's learned over the first half of the season. He has made good on in the second half of the season, and with his move to a Ford Focus next year, hopefully he can just keep climbing and get even better results.
The privateer Honda and privateer Fords in the Worlds are kind of on par, and these are the same cars you saw in season 2 of the Worlds. It would just be nice to see him in a better position, and long may that happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
McNish 10th. Ingram trying to everything he possibly can to get past.
Meanwhile, Liuzzi here is looking a bit hungry for an Audi. He's very close to his back bumper, but Gromholm's got a bit of a run coming out of clearways, and they just space out again.
That appetite evidence in that fastest lap right there. But Percy still holding up the champion-elect, Kubica.
That has allowed Capelli and Barbosa to get stuck into this mix. So Kubica has now got a bit of a tougher job on his hands, because he's now got to do the classic attack and defending at the same time.
Sun setting, lights are now on.
We are officially skirting the noise curfew that this track is sadly underneath.
We've got another 15 to 20 minutes to worry about that.
Just having a look at Kubica there, going into Hawthorne's, thought better of it. Kubica now pushing the Ford through the rest of the Grand Prix loop.
Been pushing him the entire lap.
Because he does not want Capelli getting anywhere near this fight until he's done with it first.
Still, the dive not happening. And I fear it might not happen if this sort of light might be blocking Kubica's visuals, especially on the exit of Sterling. But around here, the momentum
looks like they've split off into their own little 2x2 battles, with Capelli defending from Barbosa now, which is allowing Kubica to really fully focus on this Ford in front of him. I did wonder if he was going to try and do a late move into Druids, but that wasn't enough. That was
a bit
too late.
It it was a bit weak from even for Kubica standards.
Yeah.
The move.
You can't do half a look if you're going to try that.
That was definitely half a move because there was a face full of bumper for Kubica by the time Percy put the brakes on.
Meanwhile, more and more cars are joining this train because Liotzi's now caught Barbosa and brought Gronholm along for the play.
You can still just about see them there. The Audi behind Liotzi of Gronholm. Radicic up to 8th. Looking very good indeed. This, if these trends continue, one position every other lap. A lot of work to do with, but that would look very good on Radicic's resume. A little bit wide from Liotzi there.
Yeah, that's going to kill his momentum. If he hadn't have done that, I think he would have had a run on the Peugeot down into clearways here, but now he's just got to play catch-up, sadly.
And still, we've got Percy in 2nd.
Yeah.
Heidfeld not pulling that far away. Now, we've had this sort of conundrum with tyres before. I just think now Heidfeld just might be looking to conserve before a final burn for the second half of the race. Just depends when he's going to put the foot to the floor on that.
Yes, it's entirely possible, of course, that he might be just, as you say, just sort of managing the tyres and managing the gap. And if Kubica manages to get past Percy, then he might have to think about pushing a little bit. But whilst Percy's there as a inadvertent rear gunner, yeah, you may as well just ease off a little bit, save the tyres a little bit, just save your equipment a little bit. We're, approaching halfway into this race already, so you can have a lot left in store. And there goes Kubica, about time.
Down the inside. And even though Percy was second, Swinney can breathe a slight sigh of relief because his protege Ingram is still about 46 points ahead of Percy there. The only real threat to Ingram was in fact Morris, who is obviously at the back of the pack in the drivers' privateer title, but it looks like it's Lloyd's for the team privateer championship due to their performances early on, especially.
Oh yeah, their run on Dragon Trail completely sealed that. That was going to be such a huge hurdle for everyone else to overcome. I didn't see that
comes Capelli.
Changing anytime soon. Capelli wasting no time where Kubica struggled.
Still not into the gravel there.
Nearly. Now it's Liotzi's turn, who has overtaken Barbosa, and Liotzi's now past Percy. Oh dear.
Hitting every branch on the way down, it seems.
Yeah,
Barbosa.
Such a good start.
Around the outside, if you please.
At Graham Hill. I've seen it done before. It is possible. Percy's not quite letting this one go. He's got the better line into Surtees.
Ah, there we go. Or not. All right.
Gives the Peugeot plenty of room on the exit there. Now it's just going to be a straight drag race, and the Gronholm there has just got the best seat in the house for it.
I was thinking that Gronholm was going to stick right behind Barbosa to actually help him forward, but he didn't need him.
And meanwhile,
Barbosa up to 5th.
We have a swap in BMWs, so Kubica just took the lead off of Heidfeld. I saw that flash past at Hawthorne whilst we were looking at the Peugeot. So Kubica, once he got past Percy, wasting no time, taking the lead from his teammate.
That hurts my head. I mean, it can't be team orders.
I wouldn't have thought so.
There's no point of trying to do team orders after the title's been won.
No, this is just no-kill like overkill. Kubica's already won the title. BMW have already won the Constructors. Having them finish 1-2 in championship order is just putting a big statement out to the rest of the field for next year.
And despite it being an inaugural season, there were thoughts about balanced performance. Whoa! Okay. Okay, and it's... Okay, so that wasn't who I thought it was going to be. Let's have a look at the replay to find out who...
That was Nilsson. He just completely lost control of the car by the looks of things. So here we are on board of Ingram's car. He's got a good run on the Works Volkswagen in front of him. He's going to go to the outside, take the preferred racing line.
Quick.
Nilsson takes a... Oh, Nilsson, where did your brakes go, mate?
And yellow
clearly
flag,
no
obviously,
contact.
Exit of paddock, but everyone else through clean. Good to see,
Nilsson has
but
gotten
wow.
back on the road, but he's essentially last.
And there's Morris. I mean, surprisingly Nilsson that far down because of the spin, but what happened to Morris, I wonder?
Well, if we recall last time we were here for round 1 of this series, both these Volkswagens were struggling around here on the Indy circuit, so this might just be a bit of a bogey track for them, sadly. Although Nilsson was doing well in the top 10 there, until throwing it off at Paddock Hill in such a strange way. I wonder if his brakes did fail. It'll be interesting to see if he comes in and gets that looked at, or whether the car's going well enough that he can keep going and finish the race.
Despite there being 19 cars in the grid, you've got Eddie Carroll doing his best, Esteban Ordóñez impression. Last, and by some measure as well. Question that we'll never know how that has come about.
I mean, it's entirely possible that it's a mechanical fault with the car and they're just in limp home mode, because we have seen that before from multiple privateers now, not just Ordóñez.
It's better to get the car home than to bail it for the prize money. Radicic is on the money and up to 7th, and Percy could be set to fall further down.
It would be a shame if we if he jumped out, if he dropped out of the top 10 after starting second. Well, there goes Ingram
into the top 10.
Got a run on McNish going into Druids. Very nicely done. Made it look easy.
About to get his P10 back from the start. Kubica with the fastest lap.
No kill like overkill.
Salt in the wound, everyone else's wound.
I mean, with maximum points and a 1-2 finish, that feels more like gunpowder in the wound rather than salt.
Hey, whatever works. Granted down the inside of Percy.
Knock him down another.
Radicic.
Oh, bit of pushing and shoving. There's plenty of track for both of you lads.
So if that means Radicic back down to 8th, is that the momentum that Radicic needed to get back into 7th?
Not certainly looks like it. He might have a run on the inside into Sheen, which is
brave.
Dangerous. He's kept it though. He's got the momentum. Not quite.
No,
there's Ingram out of nowhere. How did you manage that?
You'll have to ask him later.
I will have to ask him later. I just saw a mess of headlights there. I wasn't... Suddenly there's a Volkswagen.
Gone home wide. Percy fending off 7th place now. Bianchi looking to take 9th from Radicic. There he goes.
Yeah, up the inside at Paddock Hill. We saw Capelli do this earlier on Percy, making no fuss or no drama about it, just straight up the inside and past. It looks like Bianchi's going to get the move done. No, Radicic fighting back, has got the preferred line into Graham Hill. They're still too wide. Come on lads, work it out. There we go.
Bianchi's momentum, but Radicic obviously...
he won't be done yet.
The education is paying off.
Especially seeing as we already did a round at Brands Hatch, so he will have a lot more knowledge of the Indy circuit compared to the Grand Prix circuit.
Now there's a sight for a while. Walter Vettel into the final third of the points positions. He's confirmed for the second season, driving the HPI car.
Yeah, he's going to replace Ingram in that Volkswagen. He's had a quiet but consistent season, even if it hasn't been a world beater with tons of top 10s and whatnot all over the place. It's just solidly been there, just outside the top 10, but still in the points. Apart from a few duff finishes here and there, but then everybody's had a few duff finishes here and there so far this year.
If it wasn't for Radicic's performance at the Nürburgring, he would not be in the bottom 3 alongside Govan and Ordonez. Here's Ingram.
Ooh, that's a lot of inside.
Questionable line through paddock, but
I think he got the classic lift-off oversteer going into the corner there and had to correct it. And there's a dive from Radicic. He's not giving up on that Renault just yet.
Liuzzi up to third. Just a brief glimpse of that on the exit of Druids Hairpin.
Liuzzi is up to third. So once again, we've got rear-wheel drives occupying the entire podium, and Liuzzi carrying on good momentum after his brilliant Deep Forest run, where he scored a podium and a win, and now he's on for another podium. So Liuzzi has completely come alive in the last 2 rounds of the championship here.
If only it came alive a little bit sooner this race, because as you can see, there is nothing but oxygen in front of Liuzzi right there. Oxygen, trees and gravel. Bianchi fending off Radicic.
These two have not given up for 10th place and 9th place.
Having lost a very good points getter in Percy, Radicic joining that Ford team, they must be really looking forward to season 2.
Absolutely. There goes Ingram around the outside of Percy, coming out of clearways. He must have had a hell of a run.
Yeah. Kubica's fastest lap is still in the bag. 3 to go.
Much nicer line for Ingram this time round. Wouldn't surprise me if he starts pulling away from the Ford.
On board Radicic.
So despite Bianchi managing to get in front of this Honda, apparently Radicic has taken this one a little bit personally because he is refusing to give up on it. Slight bit of sideways action going through the apex of Surtees there, leaving a lot of room on the outside, keeping it a very tight line on exit. Interesting line, interesting choice. And it looks like they are both catching Percy, so it looks like this Ford is set to fall even further down the grid, sad to say.
And it's performances like this that have put the Europcar Hondas third in the Privateers Championship. Pinch of salt, because behind it's the IKEA Solitary BMW, and of course the Vodafone RCZs, the only other 2 competitors in that championship.
Vettel looking very racy here on McNish. After Vettel styling himself as the new Mauro Heidfeld as Mr. Quiet and Consistency, now showing that he can also be a Kubica in the car and trying to get past McNish. He's just got to pick his moment. Like that.
There we go. You got it.
Although he braked really early into Druids, and that's allowed McNish to run around the outside. They're going to go too wide. I think they're going to be sorted before Graham Hill.
I was going to say when, not if, but I don't think I needed to. But then the momentum there, McNish could get that back.
Well, deal done for now, but they might. Depends on their line through Surtees. And who's carrying what speed through the onto the Johnny Herbert Bridge.
Lap and a half to go. I don't think Liuzzi is going to make any inroad on the top 2, but there goes Bianchi almost on the inside of Percy.
Bored of defending from Radicic, he now wants to go on the attack on a privateer for once. Just spacing themselves out a little bit, calming down from now. Dare say they'll be back to it eventually and soon enough.
The sun setting at Brands Hatch is the final lap of the European Championship in Super Touring. What a season it's been. even
Absolutely.
if one of the stalwarts of touring car lore have effectively stolen it for all that it's worth. Very good performance from Hyundai in their inaugural season. Good decision not to go into the Worlds and perhaps be embarrassed and outclassed by privateer outfits there. Very good results in the final half. Would have been nice if they got an edge on BMW to make that title a bit more worthwhile. Barbosa and Capelli showing what Peugeot and Renault could have done as well, being there or thereabouts all season.
Yeah, I think if any manufacturer wants to sit up and take notice and have a think about things, it's probably going to be Audi. Whilst they have had some very good runs and very good finishes, now multiple race winners, both drivers, they've slipped. They really let this second half of the year go, and they're going
I
to have a lot
expected
of
them to
work to
run
do
away
for
with it.
next year.
I expected them to run away with it, but it's BMW that have, and to some sort of tongue-in-cheek to a degree, it's been an enjoyable weekend, but there will be some critics of that particular outcome. They didn't have to, but if you're going to do it, I suppose. 1-2, not only in the championship, but on track in the final race as well.
Yeah.
Congratulations to BMW and Marco Kubica. And also congratulations to Team Lloyds on the privateer title. And also congratulations to Anthony Ingram on his privateer championship win. The win at the Nürburgring, no doubt helping that as well. So, before we close things off, let's do what we normally do. How was that final race?
Surprisingly calm, and actually, no. Well, no, we did have someone try rally crossing at Paddock Hill, so never mind. The obligation
That was a
still
bit of an
stood. Thank you,
overdose.
Stefan Nilsson. It was a bit.
And then to summarise the entire season in your words.
Marco Kubica cannot be stopped. BMW have done one. They have now won the Euro Championship, both driver and constructors. Now, the big question is, can they do the double? Because, of course, Jamie Webber is en route to winning the World Championship in a BMW. So if BMW can do the full sweep of both seasons, that will be incredible.
And in a better position than they were last season in the Worlds, because we knew how badly performing they were in season 2 of the World Supers. But it is looking good for the World Series as well. We'll be covering the Fuji finale there. But yeah, we shall look forward to what we're going to be seeing from Japan. We might try and keep you updated of season 2 of the Euros as and when. But for the time being, it's goodbye for me, Adrian McReese, and Michael Swinnerton. Good racing, everyone.